as of today, March 6th, high proof, I have only had 1 5-star this year, and that's absolutely atrocious to me. So I thought I'd bring a video back that I did last year, which was to let a pick a reel decide what I'm gonna read until I get a 5-star, because clearly I do not know how to make decisions about my own reading, especially after how abysmal February was of a reading month for me ratings wise. I think I need this. But if you missed last year's video, back then I just thought it would be a fun concept because it was really popular and I was out of desperation. But basically, if you know what TBR chart is, kind of like that, except I put all the titles of the books I owned on a digital spinner wheel because it's less work. And what I do is just spin the wheel and let the fates decide whatever I'm going to read, and then I read the book and I come back to you. If it is anything except a 5-star, we spin again. And I don't know how long this is going to take, but I need help. That's just the thing. Anyway, I'm really nervous about this because this wheel does not like me, so I am just gonna be spinning with you. There's 101 books on here, which is the total books on my physical TBR. So yeah, let's just take a spin and hope for the best. Yes, I'm so excited about this. The book the wheel landed on is The Psychopath Test by Ronson. This is a non-fiction book basically about psychotropy, I don't know how to pronounce the word. Ronson basically went into investigation of what makes a psychopath basically. And it's supposed to be really good, really interesting, but I've been very interested in it for a very long time. It's on my list of top books to read this year, so that would be checking a book off, which is nice. I'm really excited for this, so let's get started. Okay, so I finished The Psychopath Test by Ronson, and this wasn't a 5-star, sadly enough. It was a 3. I did think this was a very interesting book, and I'm glad that I finally got around to it because, like I said earlier, this has been on my TBR forever. And yeah, I'm glad I got around to it. And I did think it was interesting. I like Ronson's like narrative voice. I feel like that's what makes or breaks a nonfiction for me. It's like not this narrative voice. And I really like his. I thought it was very like entertaining and quick to read and also funny at times. I just think that this book felt very disjointed in points. Like I felt very unfocused. By the end of this book, I was not entirely sure what Ronson was actually trying to do with this book, so therefore it just landed on a 3-star for me. I'm glad I finally got to take this off of my TBR, and of course I did another spin. Okay, I've had a rough couple of weeks, so I need a really good book. I have faith that this wheel will give me the best book ever, like please. Oh! Okay, Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home. This is the 3rd book in the series. Okay, so I just spun the wheel and landed on The Long Way Home, which is book 3 in the Magnolia Park series, but I am only up to book 2 right now. I have not read Daisy Haites yet, so that's going to be my next read, and I'm actually really excited about this. This is another book of my top of TBR list, which, like, why does the wheel always do this? It also did this last time, where it just like keeps picking books from my top of TBR list, which, you know, I'm not mad at. I always love making progress with that list. And this is definitely one that I've been really excited to get around to. Magnolia Parks. I also read for the last video that I did spinning a wheel. And it was a 3-star. I wasn't like in love with it, but I did quite enjoy it. It's just that I hated BJ. But Daisy and Christian actually like got a bit teased in that book, and I'm kind of excited to see their story and see how that will play out, and hopefully I'll like this much more. Okay, so I finished Daisy Haites by Jessa Hastings yesterday, and it's a 4-star, just like I predicted, which honestly I'm kind of glad with, because like the 4-star, even though I predicted it, was kind of like a very hopeful prediction, so I'm glad I got there. I much more enjoyed following Daisy and Christian rather than Magnolia and BJ. First of all, actually the thing that I noticed in the book, and like when I thought about why, is because it actually feels like Daisy and Christian like each other. And that makes sense. Like my main problem with Magnolia and BJ now that I've read this is that yes, they love each other and they're in a relationship, kind of. I mean, they're each other's big loves, as the book keeps telling us, and I understand that and I see that, but like no part of me is convinced that the two of them actually like each other. Like the way they hurt each other over and over again just feels generally just out of spite and out of hatred, rather than like, you know, I don't know, circumstances or something. And reading this book and seeing Daisy and Christian were also incredibly dysfunctional and definitely not a couple I would ever root for IRL. But seeing them and seeing kind of like, for them it's kind of like the start of the relationship that we see, like we see them like fall for each other and stuff like that. And as that's happening, I realized the difference between them and Magnolia and BJ is that they actually feel like they like each other. It's just that with kind of like their personalities and like different traumas in the past and like other experiences and circumstances to life that I can't really like go in depth about because it would be spoilery, they kind of end up like being very dysfunctional and hurting each other in different ways. But it's never because it's like, I'm gonna hurt you because I, you know, because you hurt me and like I don't like you basically. And then on top of that, this also kind of has that crime setting, which kind of makes a lot of what happens and like the over the topness of everything just feel more like not grounded because it's not grounded, but it's kind of like easier to go with the flow with that. But I had so much fun while reading this book and I absolutely flew through it, and it even made me excited to move on to the next book in the series, which is back to Magnolia and BJ. I'm even excited to get to that after this. Okay, let's spin the wheel and see what my next read will be. Yes! Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. Okay, so it's a couple of days later. I wasn't feeling too well this weekend, so I decided that it's better to not put my face in front of a camera. And that's been, I have already finished the book that I have not even properly told you that I was reading yet. But yeah, when I last spun the wheel, it landed on Silver Shadows by Richelle Mead, which is book 5, yes 5, in the Bloodline series, which is a spin-off series from Vampire Academy. And I've been very slowly making my way through the series over the past 2 years, and I'm really enjoying. Actually, fun fact, what got me back into the series was this video, the last installment I did of it, so it feels appropriate to get to this book. And now I finished The Silver Shadows by Richelle Mead and I ended up giving it a 4-star. I enjoyed this much more than the previous book in the series, which I gave it 3 because that one just felt filler to me. And I also, there were some things with the main relationship in this series that I wasn't liking within that book, but within this one I felt like that was fixed. I really loved the romance. I thought they were adorable together, and they took some developments that I did not see coming, but I do like how it was executed. This book was also very interesting. It's very different from anything else we've done in the series so far. I'm trying to talk about this without spoiling anything. I was expecting this to be a bit more action focused based on the way the previous book left off, but this one kind of, it was a bit more of a slower book, but what was happening was very like important and interesting, and I in enjoyed is not the right word, and I really liked kind of like following that direction and kind of seeing where things end up. The only reason why this is a 4 and not a 5 is because, like I said, I was expecting a bit more action from it. I also think our main characters made some stupid decisions, and on top of that, this felt a bit like a side quest. I mean, it's very important for what's going to happen in the finale, but I feel like so many different aspects of the story were just kind of pushed to the wayside a bit in this book, which again makes sense to tell this part of the story the way it did. It makes sense. I'm not critiquing that necessarily, but because this is like the second to last book in the series, it just felt a bit weird to have our focus shifted so much and to have less of some of these elements. And I'm very curious to see how everything is going to tie together and wrap up within the final book. Okay, let's spin the wheel. I hope it is extremely kind to me. Like, I need a 5 star. I really do. I'm desperate. Okay, I'm excited for this one. Okay, so the wheel landed on the Kiss Quotient by Hoang, and I'm just gonna say, I am looking at the wheel right now. It's right behind you, and like next to it is the Eye of the World, which is the first book in a little time. So I got very lucky that it landed on this one instead. All I know is that this is a romance that was extremely popular a couple of years ago. It's 2018. I'm very behind on the trend. I'm hoping this is gonna be the 5 star. I really am, because this is on my TBR for a while, and I just have been kicking myself for not getting around to it, because like I said, I've heard so many great things, so it should be great. Let's hope it is. Hi, I'm extremely saddened to report that the Kiss Quotient by Hoang. Is it ELF? I hate my life too. I genuinely do, because honestly, when I first started this book, like for the first like 50 pages or so, I was really enjoying this, and I was thinking, I did it. I found a 5 star. Like, oh my god! And then I kept reading, and I thought, no, this is awful. Like, there's no way this is not gonna be a 1 star by the end of this. So I decided to, you know, count my losses and just the end of it, because I can do it. I got to page 138, which in this copy is just under the halfway mark, as you can see. And I just, yikes. I have so many questions for everyone who ever loved this. Because, I mean, not saying you can't love it, like you do you, but like, I hated our main character so much already. And just based on some of the reviews that I read, I feel like I would have hated especially Michael much more if I continued the book. But my main problem with them is just that they hated themselves so much. It was kind of pathetic to read about. Like, Michael kept repeating how he was like the worst person on earth, and like it was awful, and like he was turning out to be just like his father, who's also just like a piece of shit, but he won't tell us what made his father such a piece of shit. But like, he also is just like not doing anything bad, like, and he would say like, I'm so terrible, I'm turning into my dad. And I'm like, dude, chill. I hate you so much. And then Stella on the other side just like has no self-respect, like absolutely zero, none, zilch. And it just made it so frustrating to read. Like, every time somebody just like basically insulted her and treated her like shit, she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, what have I done wrong? I apologize. It's like, babe, you're not the problem. And it got so annoying to read. Like I said, it's just under the halfway mark, and I was just so frustrated by them. And on top of that, I feel like we were at a point in the story where they're still kind of like not even fake date, or kind of fake dating, but like it's not fully fake dating, and like they barely have had any conversations with each other, and Michael is already like so possessive over her that it just feels kind of like odd and weird. And like I said, from reviews I've read, I know that gets worse as they actually get together, and I'm just like, I don't want that. Okay, let's spin the wheel and hope it's something really good this time. I need something really good. Like, even if it's just a really good 4 star, I'd be happy. I really would. Oh baby, I'm so excited for this. Yeah, it's the Well of Ascension by Sanderson. This is best case scenario. I read The Final Empire right before starting this video, and I really enjoyed it. It's just like not a 5 star, but it came so damn close. And I immediately bought the sequels, and like I had thought of this video idea already, so I wanted to do it. And I wasn't expecting to immediately want to delve into the rest of the series. So I have been patiently awaiting my time to get to this book, and like, it's a massive it's gonna take me some time, but I'm so excited for this. Oh, this is the best thing the wheel could have given me, and I feel like this is gonna be a 5 star. I feel it in my soul. I have some good news for you, because I finished The Well of Ascension by Sanderson, and as predicted, this was a 5 star, baby. Yes! Oh, this book was so good. Like, honestly, go read this. I mean, don't, because at the ending of this wrecked me a little bit. just like mentally, not like emotionally, but like mentally, the way I perceive everything in life has been ruined by this book. I don't trust anything anymore. Yeah, I'm not gonna say too much about this book besides that little rant now, because I do think most of my thoughts would be very hard to explain without spoiling this book. I just absolutely love this. I love a cast of characters, and I think they went through some amazing development and growth within this book. I think the world is just incredibly interesting, and in this book we took some time delving more into like its history and different parts of it, and I thought that was really interesting. It's also very politics based on like war based a little bit, and I really enjoyed that aspect of this book as well. I just the way Brandon Sanderson knows just how to lead you astray. Like, he makes you feel so fucking smart, because you like have this thing in your head that you think is gonna happen, you know, just on sight that this person is not to be trusted, and then he'll just like give you the reveal as if it's nothing, and just only for like a couple of pages later to hit you with such a hard reveal that you never saw coming. This is honestly the easiest 5 stars I've given out this year, and I've only given out 3 5 stars this year. So it's not like it was that difficult, but it's just I'm still, it literally just finishes. I'm still processing. So let's just quickly recap what we read in this video. I read 5 books technically. Honestly, can I just like applaud this selection of books? It fits like almost every criteria I have for my reading this year, with reading more books out of my comfort zone for these 2 books, reading like focusing on sequels for these 3 books, and then 2 books out of my top of TBR list as well. Like, the real in that aspect was very kind to me, so I really appreciate that. And also just because faith, I guess. 3 books out of the 5 in this video are related to books that I spent in my last video that I did like this. But let's also just quickly go over the ratings in case you forgot. We have The Psychopath by Ronson, which I give 3 stars. Daisy Haites by Jessa Hastings, which I give 4 stars. Silver Shadows by Richelle Mead, which I give 4 stars. The Quotient by Helen, which I DNF'd sadly enough. And then, of course, a 5-star of the video as well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I feel like last time it took me way more books to get to this point, so I'm very happy with the selection. Also, 2 4 stars in the mix, which is fantastic. Honestly, my average rating for April so far is a 3.75. It's never been that high, not this year. I'm live life loving. So yeah, this video definitely did a job at rejuvenating my reading spirit, because it definitely died at the start of this video. Like, it was that done that. This video, I feel like, even if it includes a DNF, I feel like completely lifted my spirits and had some good ratings. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you had any of these books, what you thought of them, as well as your last 5-star read. I've been very curious what that was and when that was. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you around next time.